Hello, welcome to my live show. Tonight's a special edition because we're going out for the first time through AltFeed. AltFeed is a new platform that Accounts Director been behind. It's the brainchild of Hayden. In fact, I quite feel quite humble because when I'm upstairs in my accountancy world, I'm Lord and Master. But when I come down here into the studio, Hayden's Lord and Master. And he's created this wonderful platform where we're giving home to lots of different shows. We've got Plain Comedy, we've got Richie Allen, we've got, who else we've got here? Me, and we've got loads and loads of shows to come. So I'm not sure quite what it is. Hey, Hayden, tell me what AltFeed actually is, because I'm getting confused. I know it's really good, but I don't know.
AltFeed is really just a platform for starting the conversation. So the website, which is altfeed.org,
yeah.
We have our own team that write articles and post videos, share videos through there. Everyone can share video links, write their own blogs, create lists and everything to vote on. But then we've got the AltFeed YouTube channel, which is what we're building now. And further down the line, there's a lot more to come with that. But we're going to add shows and just give people good stuff to watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of viewers are in business, so how can they use it? How can they get engaged with it? Is it just a case of it's another medium for them to promote on or get involved with us on?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's definitely another stage away for us to work on, because we've got to build the numbers up to give value.
But in the meantime, it's just an easier way to watch our entire lineup.
Absolutely, it's a way to watch ours, and you can engage.
Yeah.
And on the comments for your video, you can certainly talk about business and things of that nature.
And of course, people can still come in the studio and be involved in the audience.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, just the type of people we're going to let on it. Are we letting Graham on it, or are we not having any riffraff at all?
What? Don't have a conversation about me as if I'm not right here.
Well,
I'll just
I'm
take
not
the
going
mic
to talk behind
from
about
him.
you.
There we go. No, I think Graham will at some point have a show, because he used to have a very, very good gaming show.
Yeah.
And then he's very, very good on trigger warning.
He's just not very reliable, is he?
No, he is. He works hard.
Just for me, he's not reliable.
Well, no comment.
No comment. Okay. You'll leave your comments to behind the camera when we're not filming. I think this is a step in the right direction, because this is something that's growing momentum for us, and I want to engage as many clients, as many people in business as possible. But it's not just about businesses. There's lots of things going on here behind the scenes, and I'm very pleased to be part of AltFeed. Should we move on? Because you want to talk about this MGM 6. I thought it was 7.5 billion, not 6 billion.
You might have read it in dollars rather than pounds.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think, because that happened to me. It was like 6.4 billion pounds, but then if it's dollars, it's the other
right. Okay.
thing. But I love all this stuff. I follow the films and media.
I mean, I'm more concerned that the Eternals are coming out, which is another Marvel character. They're Immortals, and they're coming out. But you want to talk about Amazon buying MGM for £6 billion.
Yeah, because what's going to happen to James Bond now?
Yeah, well, they'll get him, won't they?
Yeah.
But
is he going to be rubbish?
Probably, but they'll be bankrupt without being bought out, won't they? I mean, they don't make any fortune, do they?
Well, the streaming services, obviously subscription based, they've killed all the traditional studios.
That's the way to go, isn't it?
They've killed the cinemas, but they've not just killed them; they're buying them up.
Yeah, it's amazing. But it shows. I mean, the not so much the streaming model, that's technology, but the idea of the subscription services. I mean, books have been getting people to follow, to buy into a subscription business model for decades, and it really works well. And I'm actually glad that you mentioned this with Amazon buying the studio, because I mean, I don't know where we'll go with eventually they'll all being disbanded because they get too big, and whether they'll stifle any sort of like talent. But it's okay, because AltFeed are there to bring the talent in if MGM and the others get too big. But what I would say to people is that the business model of subscriptions is something that all my viewers, all my clients, everybody should be getting involved with. Because when you think about it, what you want to do is supply goods or services on a regular basis, be able to predict your income. I mean, those that deal with me know that people pay their accountancy fees on a monthly basis. Now, Accounts Director was one of the first people in the country to actually raise that model for accountants. So that's again a first. But we've been doing it for 30 years, and you've got other companies out there. I mean, apart from the obvious ones like Netflix and Spotify and all these types of things, you've got people selling boxes of razor. I think it's the dollar. Is it the dollar razor?
Dollar Shave Club.
Shave Club. And every month you pay a subscription, and every month you get a razor blade through the post with some shaving cream and stuff. And that can work. That they're beginning to do that with pet food, with medicines, with everything. I mean, what have you got on your shop floor, or what do you make that people buy on a regular basis, and you could introduce a monthly subscription for? It's really worth looking at, and it is really a fabulous model, because if you've got regular sales, they call them the box sales, post sales, and you can just put stuff in a box, send it out, and every month you're sending the same thing to the same people, and the money comes in via the bank. Great for cash flow, great for profits, and great for customer retention. Because another thing with the new models is that we're moving over to a service society. We're moving over to giving value for customers, and then all your pricing policies, all your activities will go to customer engagement and customer retention, so they buy into your brand, and you've got a monthly fee. It's the way to go, guys. So if you want to have a chat with me about, are you trying to interrupt me there, Graham? But if you want to have a chat about how you could possibly get your business into the subscription model, do contact me. We're there to help, and I've got some great ideas, and we've got the media background to help you promote it. Sorry, you wanted to say something.
I was going to say I totally agree with you. I don't always agree with you.
Yeah.
But I do agree with this. You obviously, it's not just the streaming services. Look at OnlyFans.
What's OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Just remind me.
OnlyFans is a way to look at ladies' knees if you want to.
Why are you bringing my business PG show to your...
I'm just saying to you that previously people used to sell individual videos, but now they have subscription for it. So you pay $7 a month to look at knee pictures, but it's worked. That industry has exploded.
Why would I want to spend $7 a month to look at a lady's knees?
Well, I don't know. Well, obviously, not everyone is as lucky as you and goes home to someone so beautiful, are they? Some people are quite lonely, and that $7 is a regular. They know what they're getting.
Okay. But I'm looking more, not just services, but products as well. So, if you DIY, you could, get a subscription service to nails every month. Or,
people do. Yeah. They do it with geeky toys. They do it with, Warhammer figures, and they know they're going to get a certain number every month, and there'll be a badge in there. And it's really popular.
But food,
it works.
Food as well.
Yeah.
Premium food. Years ago, I was involved with this company who manufactures baked pies. This is the internet wasn't quite right at that moment, but the idea was there, and the company had been established for 150 years. The owner's retired now and closed, but I thought that would be so good to have. They used to supply Harrods, and it would have been so good then they could have had a box service and deliver these gourmet pies. And they could have a subscription service every month. In fact, what you probably don't know is that, again, it's all in the more years behind me now, but, I used to have a paintball centre. I know. I was involved with a paintball centre. And I was starting to build a nice membership where people paid us, I think it was £15 a month, and they could come to the paintball centre as many times as they want. And it was good because they paid the subscription, they still bought pellets when they came, and they still left in the cafe. So if I had been fighting against the other directors, that model would have saved that business really, really well. And I do think that the subscription service, whatever you do, is the way forward. You were filming something yesterday, weren't you? You were off on some adventure.
Was
filming, that? For What was it? A dungeon you were in?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You were measuring the size of the glory holes, weren't you?
Anything that I do outside of this show is completely confidential with,
thought it was
my
funny.
other clients. In the same way that I don't discuss your intimacies with other people.
Yes, you do. You take pictures and all sorts. I know.
No. You sending me pictures is not the same as me taking pictures. There's quite a big difference.
You don't have to spread them around. So, okay, well, I've said my bit about subscriptions, and I really wish people would work on that model more, and I'm really happy. I'm here to help, and please do call in about that. So Amazon, James Bond, the Eternals, the Celestials, the X-Men, Spider-Man. We're not going to cover that tonight.
I tell you what, though, whilst we're on that, have you seen the Sandman? Do you ever read Sandman comics?
Years ago, I did, yeah.
They're doing a Netflix version of it.
Oh, I know what you mean. I thought you meant the one that used to fight Spider-Man, but you mean the Sandman as in the
Neil Gaiman, about God and death and all that nonsense.
Yeah. But and the sleep, the guy that puts everyone to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not into it. My partner's
Wasn't there a song years ago?
Yes, but I don't think that's related.
Oh, I love that song.
But no, they've made Death in it, who was a very pale girl. They've made her black.
I remember, yeah.
And there's a lot of fuss over that. People are going, "Oh my god!" And I'm not one of them, but I was just like, "Why? Why do you have to do that every time?"
Can we feature graphic novels on AltFeed?
In what respect?
If people's written a graphic novel
on the website.
Yeah,
of course
we can do that.
Yeah, as long as they've drawn it, then we could.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. And so moving on now. Bespoke Suits. That was good, wasn't it? Handmade suits, made to measure suits.
It was amazing, Stephen. You're killing it, mate.
So, handmade suits. Have you ever had one of them? Have you ever had a suit?
Yeah, I had one for my brother's wedding, and I was way bigger down there than I thought I was. Really? And I'm not talking about my waistline. Unfortunately, my package was just as expected.
Was it so the short trousers that they were measuring up for just no good?
Yeah, no, the guy I couldn't fasten it.
Did you have it tattooed while they were there?
No.
Did the guy that was measuring, did he sort of like move it to the left and then move it to the right?
No.
Wasn't that type of thing.
Despite my best efforts to lead things in that direction.
I was actually in where was it? Thailand about 20 years ago, and I've never had a made to measure suit before. I just buy them off the peg in Tesco's. But I was into this tailor's, and it was absolutely wonderful. I got two silk handmade suits with 2 trousers per suit, and they threw in about four shirts, beautiful shirts, all handmade, all made to measure, and a couple of ties, and they were really, really nice, and the whole thing cost about £100.
Do you know what? You just reminded me. I did the same thing in Vietnam.
Yeah.
You go straight to the sweatshop. They love you.
Yeah.
Because you pay way more than like M&S does or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're buying it direct. And
it was a lovely experience.
Oh, I got a big felt cowboy hat and everything. Yeah,
you chose the fabric and everything. But you know what I thought at the time, and I spoke to them. It was called Sam's Tailors, and they gave me this card, a checklist where you could measure people at home, and not like that, and you could send them the measurements and they would make the suit and send them to you. And I thought, there's a business model. But it could still be a business model. There's plenty of people in China and Thailand and are really good tailors, really make beautiful stuff at a fraction of the price.
I'd forgotten about that, but yeah, they are. Yeah. I remember everyone you see, they keep your things, they stay in touch. You could get in touch anytime, we'll mail it straight to you.
Yeah. There's nothing you can even set up a subscription service and send someone a new shirt every month.
Why don't British people do this, eh?
Well, they do. There's a few tailors gaining more popularity, but it's always been an industry where there's no money in it, and tailors and people that repair clothes, they've always worked very, very hard and never made any money. But by combining this with a more sort of bespoke service and personal service and decent quality clothing, I think people want that more. I do. I think they want handmade shoes, handmade clothes. If they can get the price down, because it's normally, you go for a handmade suit and it costs you, £1,500. And I think that's out of the league of most people. I mean, I wouldn't pay £1,500 for a suit, but you might, more and more people, if you go into the main stores, you can still pay £400 or £500 for a suit. So I think if the handmade bit can get more down to that sort of thing, which I think you can do if you utilise maybe a bit more mass production, or maybe sub some of the main work out to the Far East or somewhere where it's cheaper. But even if you just get your marketing right, even if people get the marketing right, and they can sort of bring in regular customers, that maybe convince them that paying £1,000 for a suit will last them far longer than paying £300 a suit. So ultimately, the suit doesn't just last longer, but it looks good longer. That's what I've heard, but I still won't spend £1,500 on a suit.
What's the most you've ever spent on a suit?
Me personally, that's my own money. Realising it or not realising it.
I'm even more intrigued now.
Well, you see, if I go out with Melanie, then I don't know the prices, because she has a word with the people first. So I don't know, but my budget, I couple of £100 really for me.
It's probably the same for me, yeah.
Is it?
But then I never wear them because I've spent so much on them. I don't want to ruin them.
I do, but I'm quite heavy with clothes. I do wear through them. I don't know why, because I do fuck all. I just sit around most of the time. But I seem to go through them. Maybe it's in the buying cheap suits and cheap clothing. I've hardly got any clothes at the moment. They're falling apart, honestly. I think I hadn't bought many clothes before COVID. I've not really been out since, and I don't like shopping. And I suppose if someone came to me, measured up and reasonable price, I think I did have a regular customer once I'd got past that of, it's so expensive. But that's.
I smell a date, Stephen. Are we going to go get suits together? Oh, it'd be so much fun. I can bring my GoPro.
I'd be scared.
We'll get coffee.
I might get beaten if I go to the places you go to.
Don't be ridiculous.
Of the owners, no. But let's do it. We're going on a track, aren't we? Because we're talking about cars here as well, luxury cars. We're going. Hayden and I are going on a track to race sports cars, aren't we?
Yeah. In the summer, we're going to go and do a track day, aren't we?
We are.
3 different cars.
Yeah.
Several laps.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
you
say
can't
as well.
You're not
I've
invited.
been in every meeting where this has been discussed.
You're not invited.
Not invited. Once.
You're not.
Not just not invited. Specifically told I'm not allowed to come for no reason.
I didn't tell you couldn't come.
I did.
You bloody did.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah,
well, there we go.
No,
There's only 2 seats in his car.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
But even if there wasn't,
Batmobile,
even if there was more seats, I mean, we could get round that by going in Hayden's car or getting a taxi. Or a train.
Taxi.
Not a taxi.
It could be like 200 miles away.
A train.
Ooh.
I know. Well, it's because you want to get drunk and I don't drink.
I don't do public transport.
That's for obvious reasons.
And I'm not going to get drunk on a track day.
No.
That would be very
Yeah. On the way back, perhaps.
No, a burger. A burger on the way back.
Shh, Melanie's watching.
For me.
Oh.
You have carrot sticks.
Yes.
Celery.
Yes.
You've had an upgrade, by the way, in terms of your comments.
Oh, go on.
Last week was a bit rude, wasn't it?
Oh, they were talking about you. I do not look like a tubby lesbian.
Okay. Well, you've been upgraded this week.
Okay.
Lex Luthor has described you as...
I like it. Oh, he's not calling me Lex Luthor, sorry.
No. Unfortunately, he's calling you a scuffed Bill Gates.
A scuffed Bill Gates?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
He's pretty scuffed.
What's scuffed mean?
Worn.
Oh.
I wouldn't say you are, like, maybe a scuffed 80s Bill Gates.
I'll take it.
It's better than...
Thank you.
It's better than tubby lesbian.
Who actually said that?
Lex Luthor said that.
Do we have his address? I'm just going to phone somebody. Okay. Right. Well. Okay. Are we on the edge of another Roaring Twenties? What was that about? What were you? I
because
think it might be.
we had the Spanish flu, didn't we?
What's happened to this show? I don't know what's going on.
It's because we're now into AltFeed and I'm being influenced by Trigger Warning and the rest of them.
Well, I'll go.
The 20s prohibition. We're going to have prohibition.
No, the Roaring 20s.
I think the hedonism, isn't it? But you can see. I mean, I know where you're coming from because people do seem to be a lot less price conscious. I've seen it more throwing money away. I mean, we've got lots of problems at the moment with getting staff. People all over the world. It's not just the hospitality industry. It's everywhere, which could be a problem because not everyone can afford to keep putting wages up, and they can't afford it. We've had some trouble getting staff. We're expanding all the time, and we're now looking for more staff. So if anybody, as usual, feel that they can work with us as accountants or client relationship managers, or do contact me. But no, I get it. People seem to be having, despite COVID, they are sort of like enjoying themselves a lot more, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it?
But
Everyone's been locked away and businesses have been closed. And I think there's a massive... We covered it a couple of weeks ago. There's a lot of people starting new businesses. Stocks are doing really, really well. There's a lot of confidence there.
Not all things. I mean, we bought, on our weekly measure of our cryptocurrency, which is shit.
No, you're not doing very well on crypto, no.
No.
But overall...
We're losing every week. I mean, it's gone up slightly, but still down to 65% of what we paid.
You know what? You own an accountancy firm, so you can just wipe your tears with money, can't you? Just like, oh, dear.
Well, we do have a strategy because there was 3 of us that invested equally. But we've worked out, if we tell the third party that all the money's gone, then we should about break even, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
That absorbs the losses.
Yeah.
You can cash out where you started.
He's very good at it.
Well, I think so. But I don't believe business is a risk. I really don't, because it's calculated, isn't it? But I do believe buying cryptocurrency and sometimes stocks and shares if you don't know what you're doing. I think that's slightly better than gambling, but that's where the risk is. No, you like gambling.
No, I don't like gambling at all.
No.
Crypto is the closest, and crypto is gambling.
It is gambling. Of course
That's why
it
you
is.
should only ever put money in.
Yeah.
That if you lost that money,
It doesn't matter.
today, you'd be okay.
So basically, only use other people's money. This is what you're saying.
Ideally, do a deal like we did. Yeah.
But no. I wouldn't advocate. I've had a few people ask me about cryptocurrency. And I am not an advocate of cryptocurrency. I'm not an advocate of gambling. I'm not an advocate. I think you should invest in your own businesses. And I think not just money, but educate yourself. Look at new technologies. Look at everything that's going on around you and work it. Subscriptions. There's a good model. Wrong 20s. I think that the more advanced the society becomes, and the more we don't have to look at subsistence, the more that we're not worried about where we're going to live, what we're going to eat, where the next money's, the next meal's coming from. I think we'll spend money on improving ourselves and having a nicer life. I think a guy called Maslow, was it Abraham Maslow? He's got this hierarchy of needs. He's got this hierarchy chart that says starts at the bottom with subsistence and putting a roof over your head, and then it goes through right to the top where you have what you call self-actualization, where you become the ultimate human being. And these are things that we're doing. And I think the fact that more people are educating themselves, enjoying life, is a sign that society is improving. So whatever people want to say, you don't sort of go out looking for more entertainment when you've got no money in your skin and things are bad. Even though we've been dying of COVID for the last 18 months or so.
Well, I only just found out it was a bank holiday this Monday, and so I went to book somewhere in the Lake District. It's all booked up, completely booked.
Yeah,
literally
it's amazing, isn't
everywhere.
it? No one's getting money. Apparently, no one's working.
Yeah,
can't get staff, but everybody's away. Nice cars being sold, nice equipment, nice stuff. Not us, because we're skint.
I know what's going on. I'm skint as anything this year.
Do you know what it is? If I introduce all new equipment and really fancy stuff, you won't know what to do with it. And what are you on about? We bought all that magic TV stuff, didn't we? All the black box, magic box stuff.
Oh, dude, no. The studio is thriving.
What did you meant? Your brothel?
Personally, on a personal level, yeah, I've been struggling, man.
Oh, yeah.
No one wants to buy the glory old times, no.
Have you eaten your sandwiches yet?
No, not yet.
Give him a bit. Give him a crust.
Okay. I'll buy you a Big Mac after.
Oh, he's not bought me a Big Mac in ages. I've been waiting weeks.
Oh, there you go. Say thank you.
Thank you. I'll say thank you. I can do that privately. That's
the fact that you just reacted.
That's a conversation for me and Aidan. Don't tell me to say thank you to him live on air.
As well.
I know I did. I went thank you, and then I realised what I was doing.
Thank you, Uncle Hayden.
Thanks. He used his dad voice on me, didn't he?
Do you know you can't run from HMRC?
No.
Or can you?
Don't look at me when you say that. Don't look at me when you say that. Every time.
They won't be looking for you. Do you know what I found over the years? And I found that people disappear. People go off the radar. They owe tax. They don't put in tax returns. They sort of go off the radar. And sometimes they go into liquidation. They do all sorts of things. And it's like the other day we had the official receiver looking for an old client I haven't seen in a long time. And they contacted us to see if we knew where they were, and we didn't. But they don't go mad looking for people because they assume that people are just going to turn up back in the system at some point. And you know, when an inspector was telling me this many years ago, I thought, well, what's the point? You can just disappear and they won't look for you. But you open a bank account, you go into hospital, you get a credit card, you know, they know where you are. And these days it's even harder. So the best thing to do is if there's people out there that have got trouble, you know, either with bankruptcy, receiverships, tax, anything like that, the worst thing to do is disappear and ignore. If you're being done for losing all your paperwork, then stand up to it, say, I've lost all my paperwork, because you'll get into less trouble than you will by running away. So, you know, if you do have these type of problems, it's lots of accountants are good at this type of thing, and we're really good at this type of thing because we've been in this shit plenty of times. Anyway, staff shortage globally. Why have you put that down there when we already talked about it up here?
Whoa. Those two things aren't the same.
He gives me a list every week.
This is a printed piece of paper.
Well, that's
an
a waste
order,
of time,
right?
isn't it?
The fact that you mentioned this here, what do? Do I just go and print it off again and run down? You're going to be the death of me. Look at the state of my hairline already. I've only been doing it 2 months.
Did I or did I not negotiate you a burger?
Yes. Really
there's a lot, but you know, now that you've buggered up my list.
No, that's
no,
fine,
but there are.
fine.
I was reading the paper the other day about a firm. I've never met them.
Yeah,
it'd be great if we could get them on a show and actually do your job properly. But Squirrel Sisters, it's something to be proud of. There are a couple of young ladies that started a business with £200.
I'm not buying this.
Well, I can see it. They probably started with 200 quid and their dad's guaranteed a couple of million.
Yeah,
but no. I've seen plenty of people start a business with very little money, because if you've got the customers and you've got the idea and you're willing to get off your arse and go and make the phone calls and do the social media and go knock on doors, and you've got something good, you don't actually need a lot of money, because if you've got a good idea and more important, a good idea, but a good way of delivering that.
You know, for all my hot air, you are right there. You are right.
Why do I? Of course
I'm just giving you that one. That's all I'm telling you. I'm giving you that one.
I think your validation really mattered there, yes.
No, I think good on them. Good on anyone, especially in this day and age, that gets up and actually does something and does it without having to borrow loads of money or put the life savings or anything, because that means that they're going out there and grafting, and they've got a good idea, and they're doing it. They're giving up time and energy, which is more valuable than cash. You know, so £200, good on you. Incidentally, if it's sugar-free snacks, there's another one that could be a good subscription model, and I'll have a packet, thank you very much. Yeah. Actually, today I've been out for lunch. Okay, been out for lunch today. Let me tell you before we go. And I feel ill because I've been out for lunch, and I've eaten a load of crap at a big Chinese meal at lunchtime. And I've managed to get this through. And because I'm diabetic, I'm getting a bit woozy with it now. And you know, I really shouldn't do these things. But I just want to say we're coming to the end of the show. Hopefully, I'll still be around next week to do another one. But thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and whatever else I'm supposed to tell you. Good night.
The podcast.